Hi there, I'm Brian. I've been a creative director, narrative director, animation director, lead writer, storyboard artist, animator, character designer, teacher, and now I'd love to talk story with you. Hey guys, I said a little while ago that I was going to make a change to this channel where I'm going to stop doing sort of the college professor style lectures and actually start just kind of reacting to and then analyzing games that are out there. The first one is Expedition 33. The first video is up, and I think that there's definitely more coming. I've recorded them. I just need to actually sort of get into editing them all. But we're taking a little detour today, but still in keeping with the same thing. It'll be reacting to something and then analyzing it. A former colleague of mine in China asked me to take a look at this video for a game and an IP that I don't know anything about. So I will record myself. I won't make any edits. It'll be my genuine reaction to what I'm seeing. Full disclosure, I think if my reaction is positive, they may want me to do like a more official kind of reaction, but that would be a different video. This is going to be my actual reaction. And obviously, if my reaction's not so good, if I don't like it, probably nobody will want me to do an official reaction to it. But let's take a look. I'm really excited to check this out. And for the most part, I'm going to just watch, and I will analyze afterwards, but a little bit of reaction now.
Arms. 3 feet in hand.
Okay, I already like the art style.
Extension.
I'll explain on that later. Nice. The kid training going into growing up, the grown up, also great.
Sword mirrors spirit. Ease follows mastery.
Oh. That's unexpected. All right, she's stirring the fire with her sword. And chopping firewood. Okay.
Where's the sword? I can be a hero?
Oh, she's fishing. I think if a fish pulled on that line, her sword might cut it, unless the sword's dull. But that's actually a very cute beat.
The hero's sword carries weight. Tales boast of thrilling sword fights and unrestrained Jianghu freedom. Yet real peace sings of fire crackle and hindsight. Even the sharpest blades were once raw iron, forged by fierce fire. Only in worldly days, in common ways, can the steel learn to hold.
Oh, the tree branch is back.
Their eyes have held.
It's about
Wow. All right. That was really cool. Okay, so there's a lot of reactions that I have. Where to start? Okay, let's actually start. It's weird for a story person to start with this, but let's start with the art style. I like the art style a lot. I think to a lot of Westerners, the Chinese game dev style can look like it's anime. And there's definitely an anime influence in it, but actually it is its own distinct style, and it can be done well or badly. And I think what's really cool about this game already, about this trailer that I really like, is just that it's not overly sexualized. And I don't mean that like being a prude. I just mean that sometimes if you're like, this person is a sword fighter and they're wearing a bikini, it just completely destroys my ability to believe in this universe. It looks a little too costumed. And the main character definitely is wearing a costume, but it's a believable one. So I think the art style kind of feels like an inviting, fun, cool thing. I really like the opening with the book. That sort of thing really grabs me. What I think I reacted to the best, though, is just this character. I think that the trailer did a really smart thing by presenting us with a character. We first see her training against this kind of sword training dummy as a little kid. And then she becomes a grown-up. So that immediately tells me a couple things. The first is that she's not like a chosen one, right? A lot of stories start with their character and they're like, oh, this is such a cool character because they're cool. And this story doesn't do that. It does a really important step, I think, in establishing your hero. It's like she works really hard and she's good with her sword because she's worked so hard at it. She worked at it when she was a little kid. Now she's a grown-up, and she's right there at that same dummy, fencing dummy or whatever, working on her form. And I think that sort of thing is really powerful. This is not the only story to ever do that, but a lot of stories skip this part, and they go right to our character is so cool. And I think that was a really smart move to do that. And then the next thing they did right off the bat, again, I think a very smart thing, is to show that she's kind of goofy, right? She has this sword that she obviously treasures and loves, but she uses it to stir the fire and chop wood. And I think she was like dusting. And then, of course, she like saves a bird egg with it. So the fact that she uses it for everything continues the narrative that she's really skilled with this sword because she uses it for everything. But it also introduces a new aspect to her. She's goofy. And I think that's another area where a lot of games and game stories and game characters fail, is they want to be like, our character is so incredibly badass, right? So I thought that was really smart to let her be goofy, let us see her being goofy. It's definitely a show, don't tell kind of beat. And just showing her in her community. She's obviously popular. There's a scene in the town at the start, and then at the end, her friend is coming to get her. So all of that is a really smart way to present the story. And then they do the big fight sequence. And this is another area where a lot of games and IPs, I think, they start with the big fight sequence, and that's from insecurity. That's like, oh, we're nervous that you won't be interested in our world, so here's some really flashy fighting stuff. And the reason that always falls flat for me, at least, is I'm watching a really cool fight scene of two characters that I don't know, don't care about, don't know why they're fighting. Why would I care, right? I'm just not interested. And in this case, again, they did... She works hard to be a hero, so she's very skilled. She's goofy. She's liked in her community. And now someone's attacking her. So now, even in the space of like 1 minute, I'm already on board, right? I'm like, yes, I am interested in this character. I care about what she's doing. And now she's fighting somebody. And I don't know who this other person is. They're mysterious. They seem like they might kind of almost be a spirit or something, but I don't need to know, right? Because I don't need to know the full context of why they're fighting. I just know that I'm in with this character in the space of like a very short trailer. That's all I need. I'm on her side. I want her to win. So now I care about the fight, right? And that's narratively, that's what's important. And then the final thing that they did that I thought was really smart was that they had this callback, right? And when she's young and she's training with a branch, and then in this fight that's happening at the end, and she's all grown up, and it's a very serious fight, and then all of a sudden her sword is that tree branch. And that may symbolize something within the story or the IP that I don't know about. Maybe it symbolizes something about the character she's fighting, who again seems like a spirit. But just within the narrative of the trailer itself, I think what I really like is that it's a callback to she was a little girl with a tree branch. Now she's this super dangerous, badass grown up, but she's still in some way that character with the tree branch. So I think there's a lot of really smart stuff here. And I think, this is something I've said in many other videos. The smartest thing you can really do is build from your character. Don't try to build your world and your IP are just around this like cool, rad idea. Like really, I mean, your building process may start that way, but the way you need to present it to us, your players and your community, is a character that we are interested in and we care about, right? And then you have to follow it up with a really cool idea and lots of other stuff and great gameplay and build and build and build. But step one, get us an awesome character. And I think they've delivered on that. So that's awesome. I'm glad someone asked me to take a look at that. That's all for now. I'll see you on the next one.